If you're a MAGA worthless piece of shit, and have recently come to the conclusion that you no longer want to be a MAGA worthless piece of shit, but your ego won't let you admit you're wrong, I have some advice for you. Just say you were deceived. Say you were lied to, and you no longer are a MAGA worthless piece of shit.
Call me crazy, but I don't know that speaking to people in a condescending tone and calling them things like worthless piece of shit is really the best tactic to get them to come over to your point of view.
Now, pro tip, don't try to explain it. Don't try to explain why you were lied to, because then it all falls apart. If you say dumb shit like, I didn't know he would do that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, the fuck you did.
Yes, you're right. I wasn't lied to. I knew this was going to happen. If anything, I wish they could deport people faster.
So just stick to it. We'll give you a pass and let you go, okay, fine, he admitted he was deceived. And that'll be good enough for us to move forward just a tad. Still not forgiven.
Still not forgiven, but they could forgive Joe Biden for saying racist shit like this.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
And this.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
And this right here.
Extreme African American, who is articulate and bright and clean, and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
So the idea of a black man being clean and articulate is a storybook to Joe Biden, but Trump and the people that voted for him, they're the racists. But let's get back to our friend, because we're going to return to Joe.
But at least we can all agree that, you're no longer as big as a piece of shit as you were. But that's your out. Just say you were deceived. And to be perfectly clear, if you're on the right side of history, and one of these MAGA worthless pieces of shit comes up to you and says, hey, I've been deceived, I'm not saying to forgive them. Just don't rake them over the coals right away. Because if they're starting to see the cracks in their foundation of their beliefs that are starting to fall apart, the whole thing's going to come tumbling down soon. So just give them a little grace period and check back in on them later.
So first things first, with regards to being on the right side of history, bud, you are the party of slavery, Jim Crow, fought against the civil rights movement. And like I said, we're going to return to Joe, the architect of the 94 crime bill, which was the most detrimental government policy to black America since the end of Jim Crow. We're talking about the gutting of men from black communities. We're talking about the targeted and disproportional enforcement of drug laws against these communities, specifically black males, to draw them out of, to empty out the black community. The mass incarceration that they talk about, that the Democrats harp on about constantly, which is an issue, do not get me wrong, but they, for all that they want to cry about it, their boy Joe was the architect of it all. So, there's that. But hey, we all know that Democrat and hypocrisy go together like peas in a fucking pod, so... The real reason I'm making this video, though, in response, I guess, to this here fella, is what he says there at the end, as he, gloats and condescends, is to not forgive these people that are supposedly having doubts. Matter of fact, he says, don't rake them over the coals immediately. Give them a little time to decompress. What he doesn't say is that when you're done, go in and start raking them over the coals. Shame them and subjugate them, because that's what the left does. And if you don't believe me, I'll go ahead and show you what they do to their own when they step out of line.
There was no personal event or anything that happened in your life to where you went,
I mean, I was sexually assaulted by a homeless guy.
oh,
Right?
okay.
Yeah, I was sexually assaulted by a homeless guy in Los Angeles in my neighborhood as I was walking my dog.
Oh my gosh.
And it was awful. I mean, I've talked about it multiple times. And look, I don't want to put myself in this position of being like this victim who's looking for empathy, but it is the moment where something very scary happened to me. And
Why did that?
It wasn't just that had happened to me. It was the reaction I received from a faction of the left, okay? The social justice left, if you want to call it that, who think that, in some cases, the criminals are actually the victims and the victims are the criminals.
There's something here to be said about how the empathetic left can't comprehend the consequences of their idiotic policies until something happens to them individually, but that's not what this video is about. So moving on, if you're unfamiliar, that there is Ana Kasparian, former darling of the left. It was not 10 years ago that she was one of their best and brightest voices, you know, until this happened to her. And well, let's go ahead and hear a little bit more from her.
Like, it's insane. And I don't know how big this faction is, but they're loud enough to push me away completely. And so it wasn't that that had happened to me. It was the reaction of the left and how they were far more concerned with me talking about it because they felt that that was stigmatizing the homeless community. I was victimized by a guy that was strung out on something, could have been meth, you know, he was jerking around as he was walking toward me with his buddy. And
gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Yeah,
it's
okay. It's okay. But it took a while for me to get over that because I still have to walk my dog. And so multiple times a day, I literally have to think about that incident. And so I thought maybe it would help to talk about it. And then when I did talk about it, I totally regretted it because I was shocked at the way people reacted to me. But what that moment taught me was some of the characteristics of the quote unquote left that I thought were good, right? Like the kindness, the open-mindedness, the, you know, willingness to go out of your way to look out for people who need help, like that kind of stuff. There's a portion of the left that has shed those characteristics. They've taken on a more nihilistic approach to things, and they don't even believe in reforms. They just believe that everything about every political system, every program we have, every institution we have is just worthless and we need to burn it all down.
And if that's not example enough for you and you're unfamiliar, let me introduce you to Jennifer Welch.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period.
That lady has 1.45 million followers on YouTube. I didn't go and look at the, other sites, TikTok or her podcast, but I assume they're pretty high numbers. She's out here directly, explicitly threatening people within her own party if they do not toe the line as defined by her and the most extreme part of their party, whatever you want to call it, ideology, that they're going to come at them just the same as MAGA. And this was in response to a woman claiming that she is happy about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And they think they're on the right side of the history. They think they're the good guys. They call everyone else the fascists when they're out here saying, toe the party line or you will be punished. Man. So, sir, the guy that this video is in response to, essentially, I would love to know how it is you rationalize that you're the empathetic and kind side, when again, you are the party of Jim Crow, slavery, blah, 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 94 crime bill, completely throwing out the democratic process in your last primary. Like, the list goes on, bro. Out here currently today, your thought leaders are threatening their own party members with the same violence that is being enacted against the opposite party should they step out of line. Oh, man. Hey, so it seems like these social media companies aren't too fond of my particular opinions, and it seems pretty apparent that they are trying to minimize my outreach. So if you like the content, hit the follow button, check back in daily because I'm posting almost every day. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.